I am Babla Jonathan, and this is the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. In our top stories in this edition of the news, the coronavirus pandemic hits the Dongamantum division in the northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. That administrative unit has recorded its first case of the coronavirus, and a quarry becomes deadly in Ebola in the central region of the Republic of Cameroon, while a protest erupts at another in Penja in the littoral region of the country, and the National Gendarmerie steps up the fight against the rising insecurity in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. Suspected bandits and traffickers of human bones have been arrested. Thanks, dear viewers, for joining us in this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television. I am Babla Jonathan. We begin in the central region of the Republic of Cameroon, where work has resumed at quarry in Okola subdivision, a quarry that has become deadly. It has killed one person, and the incident occurred while some workers were loading gravel into a truck, and a landslide occurred, and the soil came down from about 300 meters high up and caught one of the workers, who died on the spot. And of course, the divisional officer of Okola subdivision and some gendarme officers were on the scene and ordered that works should be halted in that quarry in the central region of the Republic of Cameroon. And today work has resumed, and of course the dead worker is yet to be buried, and the Chinese company exploiting the quarry has promised to take charge of the burial dues of the worker who was killed during that incident. In the meantime, a protest has erupted at another quarry in the Penja. It is, of course, in the Mongo division, littoral region of the Republic of Cameroon. There is a tussle for the control of the Penja quarry in the Mongo division, and this is taking place between the mayor of Njombe Penja and local administrative authorities, who are now at loggerheads, and the mayor sealed the place over some irregularities. And of course, there is a protest that erupted there because of that tussle between the mayor of Penja, Njombe Penja Council, and the administrative authorities. For me, I'm Sonsanda.
A tense atmosphere at the quarry in Penja in the Mongo division of the littoral region of Cameroon. A physically challenged deputy mayor of Njombe Penja Council is brutalized and pushed to the ground by extractors of stones at the site, as he and his colleagues came out to defend the seals placed by the mayor on the quarry.
Les adjoints, nous sommes les adjoints. Si on nous dit de dormir ici, nous allons dormir jusqu'au matin.
Despite the resistance staged by the municipal officials, the seals are forcefully removed and barricades destroyed by gendarmerie officials under the instructions of the senior divisional officer for the Mongo division. The governor told the senior divisional officer that quarries are managed by the Ministry of Mines and not mayors. The place was sealed and activities halted 3 days to this day by Paul Eric Kingi, mayor of the Njombe Penja Council. The mayor, like the people of the municipality, accused exploiters of abusive and illegal exploitation of their resources to the detriment of the development of the municipality.
Ce sont des gens qui exploitent illégalement ma localité.
They are people illegally exploiting my locality. It is over, or they regularize their situation at the council before they can continue. I will make sure I bring back those illegal sectors to order. Decentralization must be effectively implemented.
Question que la décentralisation soit respectée de manière effective selon la volonté de celui qui l'a voulu.
To calm down issues and give hope to the local population, Les Plantations de Haut-Penja, specialized in banana exploitation, commonly known as PHP, one of such enterprises operating in the area, accepted to accompany the municipality in its developmental strives.
Our responsibility is to help the community and the population where we are based, and to develop more. And we are a main actor in this development, is to give subsidies to help him and to help the community to present and develop and concretize its own project.
A decision seen as laudable and community-oriented by the mayor of the municipality.
What we received today from PHP, we will try to do our best for our people to receive exactly what I said. That means our population have to wait. I think they will benefit of water and light, public light, because both of them are exactly what people need to be in line.
Just like the mayor, the people of Njumbe Penja say the municipality suffers numerous developmental challenges, running from water scarcity to poor electrification despite its natural resources.
3 alleged killers of a commercial motorbike rider in Fongo-Tongo in the west region of Cameroon have been arrested by forces of law and order. The bike rider was killed and his mortal body dumped near a stream, and the 3 suspects have been presented to the public in Fongo-Tongo. Smart Jikan Gabriel reports.
It was on the 9th of May 2020 that 23-year-old Nebukezan left the family residence with his bike to work but never returned. 6 a.m. he left the house as usual for work, but he usually returns home at 8 p.m. On that day, he didn't come back until the next day. The mother was already worried. The first investigation carried out by the Fongo-Tongo Gendarmerie Brigade didn't yield any fruit, but later the family was informed about the lifeless and decomposing body of Nebukezan that was discovered wrapped in cloth deposited near a stream.
La population a informé.
People in the village got a pungent smell.
On ressent des odeurs pas très catholiques
around Kote, and the family descended there in search using their nostrils.
Et puis la famille s'est déportée de ce côté. Et puis se sont mis à fouiller.
That is how we met the corpse, already bad.
Le corps déjà en décomposition.
Within the same period, some security officers continued with the investigation, and they fell on the handset of the bike rider, which was already in use by the gang leader. It was when the document to finalize the sale of this commercial motorcycle in Douala was about to be made that the main suspect was caught alongside the 2 buyers of the commercial bike rider by the forces of law and order in Douala, and later transferred to the Fongo-Tongo Gendarmerie Brigade. When the bike owner was killed, his motorbike, telephone, receipts of the motorcycle and his national identity card were taken away, and a certain Defo Chancelin, after pressurizing his master, bought the bike at 250,000 francs CFA, but an advance of 200,000 francs was paid. So Roberto mistakenly wanted to remove his identity card, but it was that of the late bike rider that came out from his pocket. He lied that it was his dead younger brother motorcycle that he wanted to sell. According to one of the member of the gang, Kwe Defo Chancelin, there were 3 of them at the time of the crime. The other 2 members of the gang are on the run. They are now being the most wanted criminals in Fongo-Tongo.
And the National Gendarmerie is equally stepping up the fight against rising insecurity in the country's economic capital, Douala, and several suspected bandits and traffickers of human bones and other persons suspected to be carrying out some criminal acts, notably the fabrication of false documents, have been arrested by elements of the National Gendarmerie and security or forces of law, and other have been patrolling the town, tracking down the alleged bandits. The suspects have been arrested and they are now in custody ahead of justice to take its course. And of course, we'll be coming back to this report in a subsequent news edition. Now on to one of our lead stories. We're going over to the Donga-Mantum Division, northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, where the coronavirus has been recorded. Single case, the first case of coronavirus has been recorded in that administrative unit in the northwest region of the country. Details with for me, Armstrong Sander.
Confirmed COVID-19 cases in the northwest region of Cameroon on the rise. The Donga-Mantum Division records its first COVID-19 case in the Cambe Central Subdivision. Following the announcement of the first case in the division made by the regional delegates of public health, a wave of panic embraced inhabitants of the cosmopolitan Cambe. To minimize the psychological effects and curb the spread, the Nkambe community-based Center for Disability Inclusive Development, together with Sisters Peak, embark on a sensitization campaign on COVID-19 to persons living with disability in the area.
It is a token. This is like launching of the project. The real documents, guide on coronavirus and all that are still to come. This is just like launching it here. And these people go and tell their colleagues in the villages that there is a project on coronavirus for disabled people.
The ceremony that lasted several hours saw persons living with disability from far and near schooled by speakers on COVID-19 preventive measures, especially measures most adaptable to persons in their category.
16 people are supposed to benefit, two from each disability group. That's being Shwa, being Ka, Tabiken, Kungi, Inju, Kambe. Some 3 persons have not come. We shall find out why they have not come. If there are reasons for being absent are genuine, we shall give them the report and give that person.
For me, Rene Avanya, from Binka, many things were being said concerning the COVID-19, the coronavirus, which have taken away the lives of many. But we are not the ignorant because we are informed. And we know when we are not informed, we will be deformed. All of us as the disabled people.
After their sensitization, the disabled participants were also given anti-COVID-19 kits by Sedid.
Ntundong Chamberlain, Senior Divisional Officer of the Meme Division, Southwest Region of Cameroon, has expressed worries over the state of roads in the town of Kumba. Many of the roads in the town are in a deplorable state, and he has, however, reassured the population that the government will improve on the state of roads within the town of Kumba in order to implement or improve on their living conditions.
Face of most vicinities in Kumba, central town of Meme Division, Southwest Region. Apart from the abandoned heaps of garbage intoxicating the atmosphere with unpleasant smell, is deplorable state of quarter and major streets like Krama and high cost streets, including the Mbonge Park. Insecurity, lack of funding from government, and other unrevealed factors are known to have pushed contractors to abandon works. Cries of the population put the Senior Divisional Officer of Meme Division and his entourage to see for themselves.
Come and witness ourselves. The population are suffering. Lack of road in Kumba in general, and in some quarters in particular. We are now in terms of Kumba coming from Équinoxe Tv, and you see the state of the road is very, very different. It is a very, very big issue. It's not easy for the population to carry their properties to move to the hospital. It's not easy for them. But the truth is that at the local level, we are going to see together what to do to improve the living condition of the population. That's why I am here with all the mayor concerned Mayor of Kumba 1, Kumba 2, Kumba 3, even the city mayors.
From instructions from Yaoundé seem to have contributed to this inspection visit around the Kumba town.
I received full instruction from the minister. He said that they should make an evaluation of the work which is supposed to be done from Kaketu to Patrick Johnson. The team in charge are going to start this exercise. What you are saying, the national road, is true, but you are the one suffering. You are the one who needs to use this particular stretch of the road. That's why at the local level we are going to see what to do while waiting for the funding from the Minister of Public Works. And I am very happy because we have some equipment here in transit, here in town, which you can use even from tomorrow to try to see what to do to ameliorate the daily condition of the population.
A promise the population of Kumba expects should be matched with action before a deserving congratulatory clap.
Equinoxe reporting there, and after a week at sea, 180 migrants aboard an ocean Viking rescue ship began disembarking at the Sicily's Porto Empedocle last night, and some of the migrants are from Nigeria, Eritrea, and Pakistan. They will be quarantined for at least 2 weeks because of the coronavirus pandemic. That's Euronews.
Almost 200 migrants rescued by a humanitarian aid boat in the Mediterranean have been allowed to disembark in Sicily after 9 days stuck on the ship. Police escorted them a short distance to another vessel where they'll be quarantined to prevent the possible spread of coronavirus. The arrival of the Ocean Viking into Porto Empedocle capped a tense few days on board, marked by migrants jumping overboard, a suicide attempt, and bouts of violence. After being rescued in 4 separate operations on June 25th and 30th, the migrants became increasingly agitated, according to SOS Mediterranee, as the charity awaited the go-ahead from either Italy or Malta. However, approval didn't arrive until Sunday, after the group declared a state of emergency on board, adding it could no longer guarantee the safety of the migrants or the crew. Hermione G, Euronews.
And that's it for the first part of this edition of the 6 p.m. newscast on Equinoxe Television. Talking Point is up next. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a Talking Point in this edition of the news. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.